spoons and other non-binary kitchen utensils. This is the Gravy Wheels podcast. I'm your host, Franklin.
I'm Andrew.
Did I break things, or just can I not hear Frank because he's leaning back a little?
Can you hear me now?
You're quiet for me, but I can hear you. Andrew, am I crazy? Do I just need to turn him
fine.
up?
He sounds fine to me. He's a little quiet, but
I have
that's
him to 60% on.
You're a little quiet. You're too quiet.
We're good now, dude.
Who quiet?
The Quieting. A Quiet Place Part 3. Starring
I love that guy.
Hova in his shack warehouse so his contractor can't hear him masturbate.
I masturbate vigorously.
Do you like my
all
dog?
the time.
She looks like she has a sour cream dollop on the top of her head. What is her name?
It looks like it's
Yeah,
a cat.
that's why we named her Yogurt.
Gogurt.
I make Gogurt in my...
I'm sorry. I have a migraine today, guys. I'm sorry for the listener, because I'm going to...
It's because you're drinking that fucking dog-ass LaCroix.
Shut up.
I wouldn't even fucking let my dog drink that shit. Yuck. It's like if someone drank an entire Mountain Dew, like a 2-liter of it, and then spit in a can of seltzer. That's what it tastes like.
Pretty much.
It's the hint of a hobo spit after chugging a 2-liter
Here's
soda.
what's up. Here's the deal.
Carbonated water.
I'm an adult man. And
True.
because I'm an adult man, I can't do things that I like drink soda. So I drink this to remind me that life is short and we're all going to die.
Yeah.
I have a migraine.
I think I put on like 72 pounds since February.
Yeah.
So things are going well. I'm going to cut out the soda and everything very soon. But I'm sitting on like government reserves of these. So as soon as I get through that, then the diet begins, I guess,
Did
right?
you see the picture that I sent? That I still have a fucking case of those I didn't know that I had.
Oh, a case?
Oh, how many do you have?
I think I just put like a half case, like a half flat in my fridge. I think I've got, it's like I have a stack of Zoas and those, but I think there's still 2 or 3 in there. We've been working on it. I just give them away when people come over. I'm like, here, take a fucking Rockstar.
I had a bunch of these too.
Yeah, that's the right thing to do. I opened my desk drawer and I found a giant box of Mentos in there that I forgot that you sent me.
Dude, I guess I should have known when I got when a semi trailer dropped off. I think it was like 380 pounds of Mentos, that it would take me, like, that logistically I would never get rid of it all. But I've tried. Like, cousins come in from out of town and shit, and they have like 8 kids, and I'm like, here, fucking gum and Mentos rolls, and I like you guys. I give Mentos away constantly, and there's still just piles of it. So
Yeah. Do you know how Mentos, like when you bite into one, they're supposed to be kind of chewy?
yeah,
I bite into these now and they just shatter.
Yeah.
They're like broken glass.
But
the
I like
temperature.
it, though. I like the texture.
The temperature means a lot with Mentos. Like if it's a little bit chilly, yeah, it's just glass candy at that point.
I think it's from the age.
I think it's
Well,
the age.
it's
It's
a
definitely not the
combination.
temp right now.
I think it's a combination of all of the above. But yeah, it was probably at least 2 years ago that I got that. If not 3.
It's been close because
I don't know.
it's probably been closer.
You sent me that thing like a year and a half ago, so it's definitely been longer than that.
I have like a really bad grasp of time anyways, so it's probably closer to 4 years. It's pretty
Yeah,
sick.
that sounds better.
Speaking of time, we haven't done an episode in like a month and a half or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was gone, and now I'm back.
That's how you're supposed to open Mentos, by the way.
Like a man. That's how Rambo opens up Mentos.
Frank went all Forrest Gump on us and I just started running, and he ran all the way to like Arizona.
I was on that road. I was on that scenic road whenever he's running through
Yeah.
Utah. I was on that, and like so many fucking people, especially people not from America, stop on that fucking road to take pictures of it because they're like, Forrest Gump, Lieutenant Dan, and they're sitting there taking pictures with their fucking families. But it was a really fun
Did
trip.
you know that that scene almost got scrapped? They really, really, really fought on that because they were like already over budget and shit. And then they're like, all we have left is this one scene. The problem is that we have to get like scenic shots on the West Coast, scenic shots all the way across America because that was the whole point of the fucking scene. And so, like, logistically, to have a crew as big as they needed and Tom Hanks and everything to go all over the place. And the studio was just like, no, there's no fucking way. Way too expensive. We're not doing this.
He used his money.
And but they had like a little mutiny team in secrecy that was like, we're gonna fucking shoot this shit anyways, and just like, you know, take it back, and then they'll see how good it is, and then they'll let us put it in the movie. And a lot of those shots were actually Tom Hanks' brother, because that
right.
made it more feasible to, you know, have Tom Hanks in one location and his brother in another. And it was pretty easy to kind of spoof it because he had so much facial hair and shit going on in those scenes. But shout out to the movies that made us on Netflix. That's where I learned that little tidbit.
I saw that on Turner
I see.
Classic Movies. In between movies, they talked about it.
Right.
They couldn't have Tom Hanks do it because he was filming the episode of Big 2, Even Bigger, which also starred Ron Jeremy. Not a child.
And
I
that
saw
movie exclusively streamed on MTV3.
Dude, Tom Hanks' asshole gets stretched so much in that movie. It's wild. Speaking of movies, you guys seen anything in the last 4 years? Whatever amount of time it's been since we did this?
The Halo show.
Yeah,
All right.
I've been enjoying that in 1883 and the Halo show, and I just started watching The Real World, but I haven't watched any movies. I started to watch The Marksman, which is stars the guy from Taken. What's his name?
Liam Neeson?
Liam Neeson,
Who plays the same character in every fucking movie.
who now plays the same character in every movie, and I had to turn it off the other night because it's the same.
Oof.
It's Taken. It's like whatever, Taken 4 against the cartel, and he's so much better than that. But what are you?
He's getting that paper, man.
Yeah, he's
Don't get mad.
probably gets
Don't
so
hate.
tired of reading scripts and it's the exact same thing, and then he sees the zeros and he's like,
Oh,
I don't give a shit.
before
Yep, let's
Andrew
do
gets
it.
to what he wants to talk about, though, the Pentaveret. Did you guys watch the trailer for the Pentaveret that I sent?
No, I did not. I know of it. I know the sort of thing of it, but
So it's funny, and it has like the guy from Key and Peele, and I don't know if it's Key or Peele. It's one of those guys.
come on. Do better.
And it's just Mike Myers, and Mike Myers' entire fashion now, his whole thing now, is he's just going to play 12 different characters and everything. And
Yeah.
I actually thought it was
I
going to be
saw
like,
a picture of them and I didn't know what it was.
I thought it was going to be super horrible, but it's actually made me laugh a lot. But it must be like known that I am like taking a large amount of edibles every single day to function. So
Allegedly. D8 gummies. On that note of like thought it was gonna be dog ass kind of thing. Yeah, I feel like we have to take a second for anybody that is on the fence listening potentially about checking out the Halo show, because I went into it not expecting much, and it's been really, really, really good. Like the first episode is enjoyable as a Halo fan, and then the next three, so episodes 2, 3, and 4, are a little slow. It's more character building, storyline shit. Episode 5 is something that you'll finish watching it, and as a Halo fan, be like, I've been waiting fucking since Halo Combat Evolved came out to watch something, you know, with real life, live action, you know, in the Halo universe. It's really fucking good. I was super surprised to see, because even the storyline, even though it doesn't like follow the books and shit, as a Halo fan, I'm totally into it. It's fine. It's actually really interesting, and I always end an episode wanting to see the next one. And I checked like the tweets from the Paramount Plus Halo account, and all the replies just shit all over it and talk about how like all 343 had to do is stick to the fucking story and blah blah blah, and it really surprised me to see all the negativity. Even one of our viewers, Stewie, you silly little bitch. I don't know, man. I don't see how it's not that big of a deal that it doesn't follow like the storyline of the books and the game to me. It's a good show.
Some of the books not follow the full canon, like there's the Silver Timeline.
That's what I thought too. Yeah, and there's a comic series. There's all the fucking animes and shit like that. Who gives a fuck? It's Master Chief fucking things up. That's all that matters.
Master Chief gets his asshole stretched out so much.
Plus, is there really a canon to Halo? Because like everybody who plays
don't eat that.
Everybody who plays Halo plays it differently. Like all I do is I try to get outside of the maps, and I get like completely pwned in multiplayer. So my Halo timeline never even gets past mission 3 on any game. So
when we're talking about in the present or in the future, space where there's like fucking all kinds of different universes and black holes and potential time travel and shit, like what does it, I mean, all that stuff is pretty loosey-goosey anyways. They can kind of write it however they want and be like, oh, by the way, this happened, but you didn't know that because I don't know. Bunch of silly bitches. Everybody's just so eager to be unhappy these days.
Yep.
Everybody goes into things and just like, man, you know what? I feel like being pissed off. Let's find that thing to latch on to.
Speaking of time travel and alternate universes and that kind of bullshit, you two dumb sacks of shit have not gone to see Everything Everywhere All at Once.
No. I don't go to see anything.
I go see it. To see it.
No. I'll stay at home and wait until it comes out, and then I'll watch it.
Is it on Pirate Bay? Don't chew that Mentos angrily at us because we don't want to go to a COVID hotbed.
Pirate Bay is not a thing anymore. I watched a YouTube doc.
I went to see it with a friend on a Sunday night, and then the next day I saw it again with my wife.
That's madness.
It's really, really good.
Fuck the IRS is what I kind of get from it.
Well, I mean, that is part of it. I don't want to... It's one of those movies that it's better the less you know about it. So your expectations, you just don't know. You don't know what to expect. I feel like that's where it works the best. But yeah, man, it's a delight. It's probably like a top 5 all-timer.
Damn. I want to see it. I just usually wait till things come to streaming.
It's really fucking good. It's fun to see in a theater because I think nobody super knows what to expect from it. So the reactions are pretty good that you're going to get. But man, it's great. It's like, it's very creative. It has really fun action. You know, it has stuff to do with the multiverse and all that shit is really inventive, super fun.
I heard it.
Good acting. The story is like emotionally resonant. It's like, it's just all good. It all works incredibly. It's a great surprise.
Are you guys going to go see the new Jurassic World in theater?
No.
That's like one, if it's like a monster movie, you know what I mean? I try to watch it in a theater.
I get that. Yeah. But I just don't care about the Jurassic World movies.
This one looks pretty sick though, with the original fucking cast returning and all that shit, and you finally get to see like the mesh of dinosaurs that are just fully out now. They're not like, oh, one's getting loose, but it's just one, and then they like contain that situation and it's basically over. Now it's like Planet of the Apes with dinosaurs now. It's kind of how I'm looking at it. You know what I mean?
Did that one girl get hotter? Because she was hot whenever we were young, but now she's probably
the one that runs 50. Through the jungle in high heels.
Oh, sure.
Oh, you're talking about like
the original one.
Yeah, Wayne Knight.
Was there Dr. Settler or whatever?
Jesus Christ! Not the lady who sticks her hand in the gigantic.
The old guy with the cane.
Yes, it's the old guy. He's still hot. No, the
Tell
daughter. The daughter.
The Asian
Wayne Knight,
scientist.
Wayne Knight in high heels, baby.
I fucking hate you.
Newman.
The daughter? You sick fuck.
Yeah, whenever that came out, I was like fucking 6 or 7, and she was like 14, so she's probably like in her 40s right now. Don't make me mad.
Oh, that's the one you printed?
Yeah, look at this. Also, I got some big news, guys.
Okay, I'm gonna need one of those.
Don't. I'm printing another one right now as we speak.
I'm gonna need 2 of those. That's fucking sick, bud. Does it slip in and out easily, or is it like a process to get it in and out?
Just like you on prom night.
Shit. You can do anything with your peanut butter in your butthole. Nice. Okay. Cool.
But I also,
Dude, I haven't finished I haven't finished Alex yet, so that would be fun as shit for Alex.
well,
I thought your quest didn't work.
so since I got back, I've been working tirelessly to get the thing to work again. And I finally got it to work around 2 o'clock last night, 2 a.m. last night, so I played a little Beat Saber. I don't know, honestly. I've tried it just about every day to get one of the controllers to repair, and it wouldn't pair with the app or with the headset. And eventually it did pair with the app eventually. So, I don't know.
Did you call Zuckerberg?
That's what I would have done.
We're still broken up.
How many Mentos are you eating right now? Is that the gum?
Like 6.
Is it
No.
Mentos or gum?
They're Mentos.
I have the Mentos gum too. Next time you come down, I'll hook it up.
I like the fruit flavored Mentos.
Or did I already give you gum? Okay. The Doge wants a piece of gum.
No, she's good.
So it's like it just sits on. Right?
Right.
And then you have another piece, and I've been sanding these. This piece actually has a screw that goes into it somehow, and I fucked up.
That'll happen.
It's got a little 3D printed screw that you screw in there,
Ah.
and then you put this on there.
So it doesn't really need the screw?
I mean, it's pretty fucking wobbly, and I printed it at 10 or 15% infill, so it's like really light. But
I mean, all you need is the feel. You
it-
can have a headset on anyways,
it was-
as long as it's not too janky and wobbly.
pretty fun playing Super Hot with this.
Oh,
Yeah. That sounds good.
So
You should try Pistol Whip too as well. That's what I thought when I saw that.
how do I pirate games on my Oculus, though? Because I don't want to buy them.
You have
Get
to
side
send
quest?
Zuckerberg a friend
Side
request.
quest.
SideQuest lets you sideload stuff onto the Oculus. It's pretty easy. There's like a lot of other stuff on there too that's not on the Oculus store. Like
Oh, really?
somebody made a VR version of the original Doom
Oh yeah.
with all them real crunchy pixels. It looks super fun. I haven't
I
played
was
it
gonna
yet.
say, I
but-
bet that would give you a headache in like 13 minutes. You just dead.
I don't know. I think it looks fine.
Yeah, but being in VR with those graphics, I don't know. I feel like that's be fun for a little while, and then you'd be hurting. Maybe. I had John and AJ were over
I'm
for
sorry.
something. I don't remember what, but they played a lot of Super Hot and stuff on the VR. They were having fun. That's one of my favorite things to do with VR is just when people are over, just turn it on and throw the headset on them
Yeah.
against their will. It's good times.
And I'm gonna.
Because everybody like makes fun of it and kind of thinks it's cheesy at first, but then you give them like their first thong. Yeah, you give them their first thong on Beat Saber, and they're totally into it.
I'm gonna 3D print a thing to hang down from the ceiling for my index because the cable gets in the way. That's.
Should sell that piece of shit.
I mean, maybe, but
To me, one of the biggest parts of VR is like the ease of use. If I feel tethered and there's too much shit to fucking like if I have to have a thing on the ceiling for a cable. I know the Oculus is the same unless you're playing like fucking mobile games essentially, but I don't know. That's the reason I got rid of the Vive. Was just having to mount cameras everywhere and shit. It was too much. And then one of them would go out of sync. You have to troubleshoot shit all day. Fuck all that.
My son is like super into VR games. That's what he wants
VR
to
chat?
play. Like if he's playing no, fuck that. Well, if he's playing video games, he like wants to play VR games. So much so to the point now where to him those are video games and games like you and I are used to, like we grew up with. Those are called flat screen games.
Oh, shit.
So
Flat screen games. Wow.
I play a lot of flat screen games. My son plays a lot
Remember
of
how
video games.
fucking awesome that term is hilarious to me because we all remember a time where we had our first flat screen TV and that was a fucking huge deal. We were all like, "Holy shit! No more of this curved bubble fucking tube shit."
Oh, and every time you'd roll
With
up,
700
yeah,
pounds.
two people would
Yeah.
have to pull fucking Hova's CRT out of the back of the van or out of the back of the fucking.
They were so, and that was so. I mean, you had like a 27-inch TV, you know, and it weighed over 100 pounds.
And now we
Easy.
have
Oh my
undiagnosed
God.
back problems.
They're like, well, basically, we killed an entire generation of men with fucking television
Oh my
sets.
god, that like.
Oh. Yeah, I don't spend much time with it, but I've played a little bit of Resident Evil 4 finally. I got around to playing Resident Evil 4 in VR. It's pretty fun.
That one looks
I
fun.
do enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that the one where you start? It's like very dull and drab brown outside first, and you have to run through the woods with all the like barbed wire fence, and there's birds, and there's like some shacks that are like.
Yeah, you come across like a little village where there's like a bonfire in the middle, and then after you progress a little further, you kind of get into like a medieval castle type place, and there's a few different settings in that one. It's a great game. It's a classic game, and it works really well in VR.
You think they'd ever do like VR remakes? You know, like that's the whole that's the wave right now. Is they're just like remaking Call of Duties and shit. What if they started taking like, what if they took like Call of Duty 4 and made it to where you could just play through the campaign in VR?
That'd be
Like
great.
people would, yeah, I feel like people would gobble that shit up.
Or Modern Warfare.
That is the first one.
Yeah,
Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4.
yeah, that one.
Yeah.
And they had lobbies,
yeah.
and they had lobbies, like the lobbies that were in the game whenever it was live.
What lobbies? Like multiplayer?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if multiplayer would sell as well.
Well, that'd
It'd be exhausting. It's exhausting enough having to fucking push a stick forward for 9 hours.
That one VR game has a shit ton of people playing it, and it's an FPS shooter.
Population 1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that.
Battle Royale. I downloaded that and I haven't tried it yet. It looks, I mean, it's pretty popular, so it's got to be decent.
I have it too. I haven't played it.
I wonder if it's just the only. I wonder if it's just the, you know, it's the only VR game basically. I mean, I'm sure there's a few, but it's like the only. You know what I mean? Because like you think back, and at one point, like H1Z1 was really good, but when you really think back on it, H1Z1 was a pretty big pile of buggy shit. It just happened to be like the only, like actual
The only
battle
game in
royale at the
town.
time. Yeah.
So, what have you guys been playing video games wise?
Bug snacks. Gonna 100% that bitch for funsies while I'm waiting on fucking Slime Rancher 2 because they're taking their sweet ass time. Still don't have a fucking launch date. I played one of those Call of Juarez, or wait, fuck, is it?
Call to
Call,
Juarez?
yeah,
Call of
one of
Juarez.
Bound in Blood. I booted that up just for funsies because I think it was on sale. Like Microsoft had a huge sale the other day where there was games for like $1.25, you know, that were normally like $10 and shit like that. So I bought quite a bit of stuff. I think that was one of them that I got on the cheaps, and I started playing through it on the hardest mode, and it's pretty fun. It's good times. It's like Civil War. I didn't realize. I thought it was just going to be a Western shooter, and I think it's starting to lean into that a little more as I progress. But obviously, playing it on the hardest difficulty, it's taking me a while. But it starts off you're just Civil War soldier. So, but it's been fun.
Does that have the slow mo like mechanics where you can?
Yeah, the bullet time or whatever.
Yeah,
hit.
that's fun.
You have to like chain enough kills in quick-ish succession, and once you do that, your like little meter's full, and then you can kick that shit on. The problem is that most of the time, by the time you kill enough people to charge that meter, then there's like not a big cluster of enemies anymore, because that's when it's most beneficial, because you can take out like as many people are on the screen essentially when you activate that mode, because it just auto aims to their fucking head, and then when you let go, it's just like pop 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 pop. It's really satisfying. But there was one achievement. I was really fucked up the night that I started playing it. I was super fucked up playing through it on the hardest difficulty. And I always look through the achievements list, and there was an achievement for you get to this one part and you're in a field, and it's like take down all the soldiers without being detected with a knife. And so I got to the part, and I'm like, oh, obviously this is it. And it took me like fucking 20 tries. I had to like figure out how to get into the right position, because I did it on the hardest mode too. But I finally got it, because you like throw these knives, like throwing knives, and it was super satisfying. And I could have swore I took a capture of it, but apparently I was too fucked up to capture that moment. So
wait, whenever you got the achievement, did it give you was that an event that you get an achievement for? Because I thought you said something about an achievement.
Yeah, it was an achievement.
I thought that on the Xbox we have a
like
thing
auto captures? I don't think so.
Oh well, they do on the PS5.
Nvidia does that. Yeah, but I would be more into trophies if I could stare at another man's asshole and be into it, then I would enjoy trophies. But I keep looking, but they just don't do anything for me. So I'm gonna stick to Xbox for now, I think. Why do you have? Is that like an 18-pack bulk Loctite super glue back there?
Don't worry about that.
What? I've never. Why is their packaging that big for super glue?
Do you really?
Are you gonna go glue your hand to a Starbucks fucking counter?
No. First off, you can't. You can like barely ever find these in the stores. Oh my god! All right.
I have to know now.
Huh? We're gonna put that together too, because I'm gonna super glue
Hell
this
yeah.
completely together whenever I put it together.
You've had that for like a year.
Yeah, I have that. I have the needler. I have the sword. I think I have like a section of the ring or some shit. My fucking Lego and Halo Mega Bloks back library right now is fucking insane. I have the Nintendo 64 Super Mario block. I have the Home Alone house. I have so much shit to put together.
You get your little Spelunker, dude. All right, so look at this. All right.
Yeah.
But do you see what that
That
says?
shit's at like Costco or something, isn't it?
4 retail packs. So it's not just like one blister pack. It's just this.
They're bigger.
And then it has the retail blister packs inside of it. And on one of these, I'm pretty sure it said not for retail sale. Like the whole package wasn't for retail sale.
Only like one of those big mega douche surplus stores would carry something with that much unnecessary packaging. How much was that? Super glue is not fucking cheap, man. I bought a half-gallon jug of super glue off Amazon, and which sounds great in theory because it's so much cheaper than buying the little ones. But then you have to like fill smaller bottles.
I was gonna say that sounds like a fucking nightmare. What are you talking about? Sounds
and
like
if you don't put the lid on right, then the lid just fucking fuses shut, and you're like trying, like, what are you gonna drill a fucking hole in the side or some shit? It was on top of my beer fridge at the other house in the shop, and I guess it fell over at some point. The whole side of the fridge is just I had like stickers and magnets and shit on it. The whole side of the fridge is just super glued. It's a nightmare.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Good times. Don't buy your super glue. Well, buy your super glue in bulk, people, but in small containers. Bulk lots of small.
And it actually
That's the super glue tip of the day.
It keeps longer if you keep it either in the refrigerator or if you have your oven turned off and you store it in your oven, because it's a thermal controlled area.
You need to stop. Somebody's gonna burn their house down trying to.
Do you remember whenever we made cyanide in chemistry class? It wasn't even chemistry class. It was math class, but it was in a chemistry lab. And we
took our math class in a chemistry lab, for those listening. That's how advanced our math class was.
And then he's like, "What are you doing, Frank?" Oh.
We were just we did it on accident the first time, but then he fucked up and told us that what we were doing was like, I don't even know if he was right. He said we were making cyanide. But then, so we learned that if you take, what is it, like...
Frank's trying to clue you into not talk about this. Let me explain to you what's happening here.
Why did we have super glue at school? First of all, though,
Because we were making fucking things to catch the school on fire.
Because your school was out in the fucking country, so you probably had like bear traps and shit too.
I was gonna say I'm sure it's not the worst thing we've ever taken to school.
Do you remember?
Because back in the day, we didn't have metal detectors and cameras.
What was that kid named? David or Andre? Not David. David.
Dog nuts?
No.
DeAndre.
It wasn't dog nuts. Dog nuts. I forgot about that. This really stupid one. Or the argument.
Everybody in
one.
our school was really
Me.
stupid.
No, it wasn't you. The
David?
guy,
I
he
don't
had a
remember it.
bag of like a pound of marijuana in his backpack, and he pulled it out and showed it in class.
He was the one that he was an
grass
idiot. He was the one
clippings.
that would have our unit on his
Oh, no.
shoes and shit. Remember?
That was Mexican brickweed. I know exactly what that was because I've been around a lot of that. That was legit marijuana. And he had like a half pound or 3/4 a pound. Maybe it was a kilo. I don't know, but he like opened up his backpack and he's got like this gigantic fucking Gladware bag just filled with brickweed. Like what?
He just, I guess,
What happened to him?
that's how you.
He sounds really cool.
I'm guessing not anything good happened to him. That's what I'm gonna guess. I remember him and his buddy. I can't even remember. I hated both of those kids. They were just such douche whistles.
The blonde one always tried to fight with me all the time.
Yeah, the blonde one and David. They were pals. I can't remember his fucking name. Fucking idiots. I did let him suck me off though one time before the bell rang. We were in the locker room. That was cool.
Anytime you can get some dome at school is pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't matter who's giving it.
Do you guys want to do a product review? Do you want to see a product review?
Yeah, review some product, dog.
So I just ate a pack of Mentos. No. I ordered one of these controllers I've seen stuff for.
Jesus Christ, you're always getting controllers.
I do. I have a thing about controllers. I don't know why. I just like them. But this is a Nintendo Switch controller / PC or whatever.
Right.
And the big claim to fame for this guy is that these joysticks don't use the same technology that joysticks on all modern controllers do. These are electromagnetic.
Yeah. Ooh.
So the idea is that over time, because of the way traditional joysticks are designed, they have these little graphene pads on them, and as you wiggle them around and you play games and shit, the graphene starts to wear, and then that causes your stick drift. But because these have a completely different sort of technology designed for them, they will never drift. That's the idea. They're never supposed to drift. There's lots of other cool shit too.
Took him 20 years to figure it out.
I did have to take this apart. I did take this apart 2 or 3 times because they didn't
Return
the
home.
joysticks themselves. They didn't shave. They didn't sand the edges of the sticks off, so there were little sprues for manufacturing on there. So if you were pushing it around like in a circle, you would feel like it was like scratchy in certain spots.
Dude, the stick drift on my fucking Steam Deck is bad.
Well, they actually, this company Gully Kit, who makes this is the King Kong Pro 2, by the way. If they actually sell replacement joysticks for Steam Decks.
Oh wow!
So if you want to open it up and pop in these like electromagnetic,
I would love to void the warranty on my $700 piece of shit. Yeah.
Well, they designed the Steam Deck to be replaceable. It's designed to be repairable.
I do like how open they're being about like what you just said, but then they're also, like they don't mind at all if you install Windows on it and all kinds of shit. They're just like, yeah, have fun. It is what it is. Go crazy.
Well, I mean, it's because they're not delusional. They know that people are going to do that regardless.
Yeah, it's kind of useless fighting it.
So, but anyways, this thing's really nice. If you want a Switch / PC controller, I guess they're working on a Bluetooth adapter for Xbox and for PlayStation as well. But
Which there's probably already shit that would make it work.
Yeah, there's also these buttons are mechanical instead of just sort of regular rubber membranes, which is kind of cool too.
Are they really clicky mechanical, or are they soft?
Did they have a click?
They're not as clicky as I would like.
But haptically, you feel the clicky?
They have a...
No.
I wouldn't say that. It's more like... it still feels like a domed stick, but it's like a more pronounced feeling when you push it in. It's like a more...
I'm still getting used to everything having haptic feedback. Like, the Steam Deck has way more haptic feedback than I expected. The little touchpads that you can use as like a cursor and stuff. Just as you're like, you just barely touch it and it gives haptic feedback. It's really wild.
Did you never use a Steam controller?
No. Why the fuck would I?
For science.
No.
Dude, you want to try
I
it
did
out?
get one of their... No, I've got the Steam Deck. It's the same thing, basically. I got one of those, the Steam Link. You remember those?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they were giving those away at one point, weren't they?
Yeah, they had a Steam sale, and they were selling them for a penny. Literally 1 cent, and then they would just ship it to you.
Right.
And I got like 3 of them, and then I checked on eBay, and they were going for like $150 a piece, so... I turned 3 cents into fucking, like $400 after fees and shit.
Like I don't feed you, motherfucker.
So that was pretty cool.
Right.
Well done.
Yeah. I like money. Money's cool.
Yeah.
Pay bills with it and shit.
Yeah.
Is that your decanter set down there? I saw that. You have it busted out yet, or is it still in the box?
I'm disappointed by it. We'll do an unboxing right now.
Really? I like the those NSC glasses are nice. Look at that ass. Why are you disappointed in it, you pessimistic Perry?
I want you to explain to the classroom why you like it. Why do you like it?
Are they leaky?
Well, the glasses, I like the shape where you can you could set it on the side to impress your drunk friends. That's kind of fun. I mean, the helmet is better than a regular fucking decanter, and I thought the little UNSC the rocks glasses were nice. I mean, it's fine. I don't have any major complaints.
Okay, well,
Is it smaller than you thought it was gonna be?
no, it's the build quality and the fact that I'm an alcoholic.
Oh, well, okay. So the glasses are too small?
So one of your main issues with the decanter is you.
Your problem, yeah.
It's just very thin. It's super thin. Like that.
I mean, does it need to be any thicker? Does it hold alcohol?
Yeah, but what if you're just stumbling across over and it just fucking chips?
So this is why you
Don't
need a
do that.
designated bar spot? And the only action that little guy's going to do is you pick up, you pour, you set it back down.
My entire house is a fucking bar. So
There's your problem.
there's no-
That's a problem. That's your problem.
It just feels like
That's a
it looks
user
it
issue.
looks great. and
Show the rocks
everything.
glasses now.
It looks great and everything. It's just that the glass is just so thin. Maybe,
See, I thought the glasses were really nice with the little UNSC logo.
maybe if it was higher quality glass, I'd be okay with it, but I don't know. It's okay for what it is. By the way, I have like 4 decanter sets, and I'm just...
Dude, yeah.
I really like one of them. One of them is just really super nice glass.
I know what you're talking about, where like some of the decanters, that crystal shit is like really heavy. Like you pick it up, even empty, and it's got some like heft to it.
Yeah, and somebody dropped one of my big one, and it didn't fucking... It's I don't know, it can't be made out of borosilicate, but it's like really good.
It's built Ford tough.
So, yeah.
That cat is out, dude.
That's a dog.
Did you just misspecies your dog, dude?
I don't know what I should expect from you.
What? My cat... Oh.
Her collar's a little watermelon.
Watermelon.
It's adorable. Her leash is the same.
I have a new hatred for dogs. Can we talk about this? Let's talk about this. Not your all's dogs.
Yeah,
Ones
no,
that
I
were
know.
on your trip.
Not your all's dogs. So we spent like a little 3-week vacation or whatever. I don't even know how long it took because I'm whatever. And we go out to Utah and we do like all 5 national parks in Utah: Arches, Bryce, Zion, Canyonlands, and Capitol Reef. Blah blah blah. And we took my parents' dogs with us, and they're Chihuahuas. And she decided to go in heat, which is like, oh, that's fantastic. Let's have a bleeding dog we have to have in diapers fucking everywhere. And then they constantly just have to feed and water them all the time. Here's the thing: if you give them like, there's dumb dogs. That's all I can say.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, anytime you put water in front of them, they're gonna drink as much water as they possibly can. They
Yes.
have no idea for like some bigger dogs will be like, yeah, I'm just gonna have enough. I'm not gonna drink the entire bowl of water. Yeah, so we have to stop like every fucking 45 minutes for the dogs to go out. And
Yikes.
then if the dogs didn't take their anxiety medication early in the morning, then they had issues.
I'm
in the
miserable
car.
just fucking hearing the story. Jesus Christ.
And then so
So, okay, hold on. I'm sorry to cut you off, but for the listener at home, if you pay attention to us, then you know that it's been like a month since we did this, for various reasons. One of which is Frank being on the road a lot. One of also is me being on the road because my wife's book came out, and that was like a whole, we did some touring, we did all this other stuff, blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah.
I think again we had a trifecta. You had
Yeah.
your wife's book came out, Frank goes on vacation, and we were closing on our house. So it was
Okay.
just like, again, it was just a fucking clusterfuck of shit.
Yeah, it's just like a total disaster zone time period. But easily the one out of us who was the most miserable was Frank, because we would just get these long text things where it's like, my dad spiked a loaf of bread into the ground because he didn't like the baker who sold it to us. Just like all this fucking wild shit about how horrible your family vacation was. And then you'd be like, oh, I walked for 10 hours today to go look at some sand or whatever.
Basically just to get away from everybody.
I mean, which I fucking power to you. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I would have done that too.
Yep.
Yeah. And then, so the dogs have to have anxiety medication, and then we travel, all the way across the fucking country almost. And then the boy decides to start peeing on everything. And he started with my mom, which is hilarious, because like 4 days in a row, he'd piss on her shoes. So I was like, fuck
Hell
yeah. Get it. You deserve it. You brought him. You should have just kenneled him or just left him at the lake house and let somebody take care of him. But no, they wouldn't do that, so we had to take him. And then this little motherfucker, his name is Rascal, by the way. If you name your dog Rascal, what are you expecting?
You know you're in for some shit.
Yeah.
These are my dogs, Rascal and Jazzy Scooter.
And that little fuckhead, one night, they stopped letting them sleep up on the bed with them. Which, by the way, if you've ever been in a pool-behind camper, and you realize that there's just like one bed, and then I had to sleep in like the kitchenette, like seat.
Shit, like the little sofa.
Oh yeah, it pulled out, it jackknifes out, and then so you could like sleep like in like a normal bed kind of, but eventually there's just so much space issues. I just start to leave it like folded like that and just slept on it like it was like a 2-person sofa. And
How'd your parents deal with your fucking snoring?
And then, because he puts in like the earplugs since I was like 5 years old. And then
That's
her
awesome.
probably pharmaceuticals. I don't know, but they snore too, so whatever.
True.
Did you have a CPAP machine when you were a child as well?
No, I'm just gonna let that one take me out. That's gonna be the thing that kills me. Everything else,
Sleep
the
apnea.
overdoses, nothing. It's gonna be in my
Just get a fucking machine. It's super easy. Don't do it.
Spike it.
Not
Let me guess, it's the alley?
It's not even the alley that I worked for. It's another bowling alley. It's a
Jesus
different one in the
Christ.
Kansas City Metro that needs help with something. It's not even. I've never even been on payroll for them, and they call me for help.
Fuck that.
Yeah, and then so one night, since they wouldn't let him up on the bed, the little bastard jumps on top of me while I'm sleeping and pisses down my neck and on my shirt and on my pillows and on my blanket.
Fuck.
And
Your neck, your back, your pussy, and your crack.
yeah, Rascal fucking
So you
R. Kelly
killed
me.
it.
Allegedly.
Did you kill it?
No, because I was on a sleeping
Should've.
pill and a bunch of edibles. Because I found now that the way I
Allegedly.
deal with now.
He was in Colorado. It's legal there.
Actually, I was in Utah, but yeah.
Allegedly.
You dumb bitch. I'm trying to help you out.
For what?
The fuzz.
I don't know. Good question. Why would I ever try to help you?
I've noticed that Joe Rogan still smokes, because I thought about that. I was like, oh, he's in Texas now, so he's not going to smoke on his podcast anymore. And then I noticed that he does. So I wonder do they have it medicinal in Texas?
I don't believe so.
I don't think so either. So I wonder if he's just, because you'd think, I mean, if it was just a small podcast, whatever, but it's obviously it's like one of the most viewed things in the world. So he had to have had like legal advice from someone, and they were probably just like, yeah, the chances of anybody trying to like fuck with you are probably pretty low. But I know like on Twitch and stuff, they'll ban you if you, I think Twitch and YouTube, they have in their user agreement that if you're in a state where it's illegal, you can't do it on stream or video.
They have a compassionate use law where you have to go to a doctor, but it's not like it's not like other states.
Use.
Where
Well,
you
see,
can
that's
just
the
go
thing,
get
because like you hear like Bert and all them too. They talk about just like taking Xanax and shit all the time, which is like obviously legal with a subscription. But my point being that is if you're a celebrity,
yes.
you have a doctor that can fucking get you. You don't have to have a reason to get shit. You just have a doctor that's going to get it for you.
Yeah.
Regardless.
It's unlike having a subscription where the Xanax just comes in the mail, like this month's order of Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's interesting being rich. You can just get whatever the fuck you want and not have to worry about the legal ramifications of it.
Who cares?
That's right. That's why Tim Mallon never went to jail for all that cocaine.
Goddamn right. Home Improvement saved him.
We're the dad from Alf and his crack cocaine problem.
Too sad. I half expected there to be
anymore.
I half expected there to be a picture of Alf with a crack pipe sticking out of his mouth,
blowing
and that
him.
like next, just as part of it. You know?
He's just blowing Alf while he's smoking crack. That'd be hot. Poor guy. I don't know why people trust bathhouses anymore. Seems like there's always a fucking camera in there. Just fucking, get a hotel room like normal fucking people.
And why is it
there you go.
that it's always like the National Enquirer and stuff who are like always like talking about like how like immoral it is to be like homosexual or to go to a bathhouse, or like they say like they have those Target hit piece articles because they think that that's not acceptable, or the people that buy their magazines don't think that's acceptable. So they pay somebody to go inside the men's bathhouse.
Look how unethical this is as we're doing it.
As they're paying somebody who's basically a prostitute at that point. Because if you do anything for money, you're a whore.
That's right.
What's wrong with that, though?
I'm an anti-capitalist.
Legalize prostitution and all substances. Vote for me. You look like a Chicano right now, Andrew.
Jawohl.
Looks like you drive a lowrider, bruh.
I've been playing something soon because we got off the carts of the Gravy Wheels train.
It's called
Huh?
Flip the
Andrew
Bean.
asked what video games everybody was playing, and we just heard.
That was one of the things that the show was about originally.
Yeah.
Until it turned into bathhouse crack.
So.
Whatever dumb shit we want to talk about.
I've been picking up and playing the old Halo a lot lately.
Yeah, I noticed that. Those fucking, I think you're in the bottom tier, and I'd fucking play too if I was. No offense, but I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. I think we mentioned this already, but I went over to Frank's, what would this have been, a couple months ago?
Whenever you bought the football helmet, yeah.
Yeah, it was the charity event, so whatever that was. I went over there a couple months ago and played Xbox on Frank's account, just on Halo Infinite, and was just ripping fucking faces off. And for context, I normally play keyboard and mouse. So it was like, I'll try just picking up this controller, even though I really haven't done it in years, and was just, shitting on every lobby, getting like upper 20 kills, less than 5 deaths every match, just having the time of my life. And I was like, this is not what it's like when I fucking play Halo. It just felt so fun. And now I guess Frank is enjoying those same lobsters.
Yeah.
I think the thing is that normally you play with us. So you're put into those higher skill, matches when you're playing with us, obviously, because I'm sure it's some sort of an average of everybody in the party. So and you never had played solo too much, and so now that you're playing solo, you're just getting your skill ranking matches.
I'm getting a little bit better, every day I get just a little bit better. But then, whenever you and I played the other day, like the first match, I went 7-1.
Yeah, I think. And I didn't do as well. I think our first couple matches we were getting like closer to your skill ratings because I hadn't played in a while, and then we started getting in lobbies that were much more challenging.
I like the new game mode. Kind of.
It's okay.
I haven't
weird.
played it yet.
It's like a hybrid of gun game and battle royale.
And battle royale and gun game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
It sounds fun. I'll give it a shot.
But it's just like, I feel like they did too much. It's so everybody has 6 lives, and you start with a pistol and a
disruptor.
What's your
pistol
and a disruptor
first.
And then you have to get like 600 points or some shit, and you can get points from kills or assists, which I didn't figure out at first, because then I started realizing I'm just shoot at fucking everything I see, because you land one shot and then he dies, you get points.
Yeah.
And once I started realizing that helped a lot. And then once you get like 600 points or whatever it is, you can upgrade your class, and then you have a AR and a Mangler, I think.
So it's
something like that.
Pistol disruptor. Then you have Disruptor Mangler. Then you have Mangler assault rifle or whatever the regular machine gun is.
And then BR.
No, it's the vector type one, the one that's fully automatic. It's not the BR yet. It's the
Commando.
It's Commando, and then I think it's
BR.
yeah.
Yep. That's right. And then I don't know. It just it feels weird playing any Halo mode where there's not map weapon pickups to me.
Yeah.
It's just that's super like out of the norm for me. And then there's drop pods. So the first time I saw a drop pod, I was like, oh sweet, it's gonna be a sniper rifle or rocket launcher or something like that. But it's not. It's power up. So you get like overshield and cloak and shit like that. I don't know. It's okay. That one map is like a cluster, the one with like the laser in the middle. It's some sort of like dig site or some shit.
Yeah.
I've got mixed feelings. Like, it's okay, but it's also just like it's a lot going on, and it's really big even for
12 players.
A free for all. Yeah, I don't know if it's 8 or 10 or 12 or whatever.
I think it's too big for the 12.
It feels a little too big. Yeah, like if it was a 6v6 match or even a little bit more, I think it would play really well. But it's kind of weird for that. And is that the only map
that's the only map?
That's it.
Yep. It's that map over and over and over again. And here's something I've noticed is it appears that the drop pods are not random. That the drop pods only go into certain spots. So if you play enough, you kind of know that it's going to be.
So you know where to
in
camp
these open
and shit.
spots. Yeah. And then people.
Plus, when you die, there's like a little orb, and then you can go and like collect. I don't know if it's like a percentage of the points they were holding or how that works, but.
Yeah. So
like a lot of times they'll just be I remember one of the last matches I played, there was just like 8 of those orbs in this one spot, and everybody just kept pushing back to it, and it was just a clusterfuck, which is kind of fun, but I don't know, it's different, that's for sure. It's just super underwhelming that they finally pushed this quote unquote big update, and there's 2 fucking maps that only work in certain modes, and it's like, I mean, what happened to the days where we would get 3 or 4 or even 8 fucking maps in a content update? You know what I mean? This like one map at a time shit is so fucking dog shit. It's unbelievable.
The other map really only works in 2 game modes. The other map is it's hard to. It reminds me a lot of another old map, and I can't remember the name of it. but it's
I'm
like it's
I'm
super
curious.
it's super symmetrical, and then you've got like 3 tiers of the map. And
It's a
big
lot.
open, and
It's
you
one of
can,
those maps you have to play like multiple times before you even have any fucking idea what's going on.
and then you start to figure
I'm
out
curious.
that you can jump from level to level in certain spots, and then once you figure that out, you can be a little bit. But it only works in King of the Hill, and it only works in Fiesta. Like any other map, like I guess it'd work for Slayer and Team Slayer too, but
Bruh. So I just looked it up on, and this is just Steam charts, so obviously it's not going to be fully accurate. It's not going to be counting everybody that's playing through the Microsoft's launcher and Xbox, which obviously with a game like Halo, it's likely to be a lot of players on those. But they went from 8,000, 8 to 9,000 a day peak on Steam. With the content update, they peaked at 21,000, and it's already trending back down to about 11,896 was Tuesday's high player count. So basically, all the fucking people that were like, "Ooh, season 2, let's check it out," have already dropped off in fucking 7 days. If you and one of the reasons is like I jumped on day 1 and I checked out that new mode on that new map, and I was like, map's kind of whatever, mode's kind of whatever. And I basically experienced everything Season 2 had to offer at that fucking point. If you drop fucking 5 or 6 maps in a rotation of a playlist, you know, maybe there's 2 or 3 new playlists and you've got a handful of maps to experience, players are going to get on and they're going to fucking grind that shit for a lot longer than what this just did. I don't understand what 343 is doing.
I literally signed in. I picked up the new battle pass. I queued to play Last Man Standing. Played about, probably, no exaggeration, probably 15 seconds of a match. And then I got disconnected. And then I just shut the game off. And that's my Season 2 experience so far. It's a fucking bummer.
I got back on with Frank a few days ago. And we had fun. Like I really enjoyed our matches. We had a good time. But we just went into King of the Hill, and there is the one new map is in the rotation for King of the Hill. So that was fun. You get that every once in a while, and then King of the Hill plays well on the other maps. But you know, and I missed it a little bit. I was like, oh man, I need to get on Halo from time to time because this is fun. But it's just the content is just still so lacking, and I just don't know if they're ever going to figure it out. And it's a shame.
It'll take a while. I think they'll get there, but yeah, it's just going to be one of those things that takes like 2 years. It's just going to take so long.
Well, and it's still not going to be as exciting or as good as it should have been, because once you get to that 2-year mark, and you hop back on, it's like, oh, I haven't played this map or two,
it's too fucking
but it's
late.
not going to be like, we're never going to get that. Like, I think back to like the Halo 2 map pack when that shit came out, and you had to buy a physical disc to install it on your Xbox, and everybody, you have a LAN party, everybody passes around, installs it on their Xbox, and then you could just sit there and play that shit for fucking 36 hours and still not feel like, you still want more just because there's so much content. And it's sad that we've gotten away from that experience.
Part of it is also just the entire gaming landscape has changed so much.
Exactly.
Like now, you just don't, like, a map pack barely means anything anymore.
Right.
It's just the way that the way live service games have sort of like tainted the way that we experience content. It's, the targets are just different. The objectives are very different.
Right. I wonder what Call of Duty's doing these days. Because I mean, obviously, I haven't been playing Vanguard to really know how their roadmap has looked, but because Call of Duty, I was bringing up Halo, but Call of Duty used to do it really well too, where I think it was like almost always 4 maps. They would drop 4 maps, which felt like, like obviously they don't want to drop a dozen maps at once when they can push 3 updates, over a longer period of time and stretch it out and get more money out of it and retain more players that way. But 4 always felt like that was totally fair to them. Like, get your money, do what you got to do, but like 4 new maps is quite a bit of new content, even if you didn't like one or two of them, you know, you'd still have a couple maps that you really dug and had some fun experiences on the other ones.
I think in the amount of time it's been since we last did the podcast, I have purchased and completed the Fortnite Battle Pass.
Ooh, my Lanta.
It's fun now.
Yeah.
No build.
I haven't played as much as I'd like. I was definitely having a lot of fun with the no build mode.
It's just fun now. Like, I just really enjoy it. So yeah, I'm still over there doing that.
I still think that battle royales, you know, suffer a little bit from the progression. I still wish there was a little more something to work towards.
Yeah.
It just doesn't really fit into that format of a game. It's hard to nail that.
No, I agree. I like, in Vanguard, like the system of unlocks is very satisfying. You always feel like you're working towards challenges or unlocking X or Y. But Fortnite could really use something like that. I agree. But they have enough challenges that you usually have something to do.
Yeah, it's just all XP based though. You know what I mean? I just wish there were like Blackout. So Black Ops 4 came with the first Call of Duty Battle Royale, Blackout. If you guys weren't familiar with that, and they were really close. They had camo unlocks for Blackout separate from Black Ops 4. But the way they did it is they were just like, fuck it. They were just paint cans. There was literally just spray paint cans scattered around the map as drop loot.
Oh yeah.
And you picked those up, and then you had to spend those paint cans to unlock the camos on the weapons you want, which was like okay. And then the players that had the paint cans, if you killed them, they would drop their paint cans. You'd loot theirs. Obviously, there was like a max amount you could get per match, which was like okay. But I always just wish that they like same thing. You know, your own dedicated battle royale camos that you can unlock separate from the multiplayer, but do it like on damage dealt per weapon class or something, you know, because I understand that like no one's gonna run around with a pistol to unlock the camos for a pistol because it's a battle royale. You're just gonna get fucking shredded by all the people that are trying to win in a one life game type. But they could do something where it's like, you know, for every 100 damage you get with a pistol, you get a pistol camo token or whatever, and then you can, you know, something just a little bit more involved where it kind of mixes up the gameplay and you actually have to, instead of just like looking for collectibles. I really like the idea of that grind, you know, or maybe a headshot gives you like a bonus on your tokens or something like that. There's got to be a system like that they can implement into a battle royale that would make grinding it fun.
You should feel enough like sense of accomplishment whenever you complete each match that should be good enough for you.
And you do, but you don't in a game type where it's designed that only 1 out of 100 people win. You got to have a little something else to work towards, in my opinion. Even like whenever I was hardcore grinding certain battle royales, I mean, you get enough wins under your belt and they're just not as special anymore. You know what I mean? It's always going to be fun to win, but after you've done it 20 times, it's like, okay, it's just another win.
Huh.
You were going to say something, and then I want to say something to you. You were about to say something, and then you stopped.
I can't remember what I was going to say. It doesn't matter.
He has a new t-shirt for sale.
Okay, and...
Yeah, come to www.myhouse.com, and I will sell you one of my t-shirts that I own out of my dresser.
Hell yeah.
So I can't sleep anymore. It's kind of weird, like not having a job and like not being like forced to, what I do now I can do whenever. Well, so I spend a lot of time on the internet like super late at night, and I ended up stumbling across some things.
Oh god.
The video game Crucible was made by Relentless Studios at Amazon. Okay.
Yep.
One of the other things that Relentless Studios made was a Twitch arcade version of Dragon's Lair. So I guess, like, I don't know, how did Twitch Arcade work? Did you play those games, or did the people watching you, could they choose how the game was played?
I think that was it. It was their answer for Mixer, I think, because Mixer had a lot of that where your viewers could interact with the game that you were playing. Like in Minecraft, they could spawn mobs and shit like that. I think that was Twitch's answer to that. I don't know if that's still even a thing or whatever.
Nothing draws people in like Dragon's Lair.
Isn't that the old like CD-ROM game?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was a Laserdisc game.
So let's just imagine that game no longer exists now. I can't even find footage of people on Twitch using the Twitch Arcade version of Dragon's Lair. That no longer exists.
So that's how popular it was?
Crucible you cannot get or play anymore. And then now they moved these guys from Relentless over to work on New World. And I kind of read some forum posts that maybe like that's not doing so hot either. But I don't know what all's up with New World. But at some point, you might not be able to play New World either. Like, any of their games are just, like, completely mothballed. And this led me to something related to 3D printing. I ended up...
Hold on. Before we... I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Okay.
But I think out of the three of us, I'm probably the only person who's actually played New World. Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah.
I refuse.
And yeah, that game deserves to be mothballed. It's not terrible, but it's just like a kind of wet fart of an MMO. You know, there's just really nothing there that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Go on.
All right. So, but you're all into like the preservation of games, and you know, like
sure, yeah.
So this led me somehow or another. I was on a site looking for 3D models to print, and I saw these like really weird, somewhat familiar spaceships, just like uploaded by some random user for a game called like Beyond Earth, which I don't know if you guys remember this, but that was like a big MMORPG like in 2001, 2002.
No, I don't remember that.
And I tried to look into it, and like there's no way to like play it anymore. Because I don't know if it was an EA game or who made it. If we looked it up, it makes sense. I sent the link in the WhatsApp, but I remember that game and wanting to play that, but I ended up like not. I think I knew somebody that fucking actually played it. But what's weird is you can't play that game anymore, but you can get on the message boards and like see all of the interaction for like 3 or 4 years of like people arguing about stupid shit about the fucking game, and like people talking about how like they weren't supposed to be able to be playing it because they were on like a 24K or 24 whatever it was, 56K, what was less than
modem.
56K. They were like on the modem that was less than a 56K, and they technically weren't supposed to play, and they would play, and then whenever the game was patched so often that they would play the game for like a couple of days while the new patch was downloading. And then they would complete all the content, and then they would like get the new patch and play everything at like super slow rates. And it's just like, yeah, it's
fun.
It was crazy. It's like a little time capsule, and you know.
Yeah, the gaming archives.
I bet I would love to see some old forum posts from the era of Star Wars Galaxies that I played, or City of Heroes, all that stuff, man.
Yeah.
We gotta wrap this up though. We're over, but it's fine. We're back.
We're over our 60 minutes. We're gonna have to charge our fucking publisher.
Ka-ching. Thanks, Javelin, for letting us use your song Soda Popinski as our little theme, Alima Ding Dong. It's my favorite song that has to do with Punch Out and Klaus Kinski. Thanks, Tyler Edwards, Tyler TFO, for the terrifying Gravy Train logo.
Tyler!
You did it. We appreciate it. Anybody else got anything to say?
Tyler made all these.
Nuke the Whales.
Oh, that's cool. Is that like a sticker book?
These are like the samples that they shipped with my order, but...
Cool.
Yeah, Yeah, and then some balls. Talented guy.
Very nice.
Thanks
Does
for
anybody
watching,
want-
everybody's. We're back.
Everybody want to close this out?
What's the word of the day, Frank?
I fucking hate the world.
That's not a word. That's a phrase.
Close
but we'll take
enough.
it.